Well, I grew up in Oregon. I had an older sister and a younger sister. We're all 3 years apart, so I was a middle child. And we all started off initially in music. That's what our mom wanted us to do, something useful with our time and productive and whatnot. Growing up, I hated practicing, but I knew it was something I needed to do if I wanted to get better. While I hated practicing, I definitely loved music, and one of the main reasons I kept practicing was because I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I was at a ballet studio after school, just waiting while my sisters were having a lesson, and I realized my mom was talking to a tall Chinese man in the corner, and that is when we met Zach's dad. Over the summer, I'd spend weeks at a time practically at his house. In Zach's spare time, I noticed he started getting into video cameras, and he just starting to have fun. And that was the same way with composition at this point. So that was kind of the foundation of our relationship with the Kings, and we ended up going to some music camps together, hanging out a lot over the summer, and just getting into all sorts of trouble. I went off to college, and one day he called me and asked me, "Andrew, can you make some music for one of my videos?" And this is when Zach had maybe 100,000 followers at this point, so he had a decent following. That was the first time where, outside of my piano performance, my composing had been heard by any audience. And from some of those projects that I did with Zach, his viewers would find me, and then they would have me do some projects, and then word of mouth just started spreading. Between my freshman and sophomore year of college, I scored a feature film for a family friend of ours who has been in the film industry for decades. A very impactful moment for me was sitting in the theater and hearing my music played back on the screen and realizing this does not sound good. That's when I realized film music wasn't necessarily always about the music, but it was about capturing snapshots of character to bring people in to closer contact of understanding what's going on screen. What drives me is that every morning I get to roll out of bed and immediately start doing exactly what I love. There are so few mechanisms in this world that affect the human soul and our being so strongly. To think that I might have the opportunity to so deeply reach inside someone and affect them is kind of intimidating, kind of scary, but it's incredibly motivating. I just can't think of anything that brings me more, joy and energy. The goal, and the utmost goal as a composer, should always be to reach beyond what you think you're capable of. And I think that's when you'll start making the biggest leaps and bounds, whether it's in your career or whether it's just musically speaking. That's when you'll really start to see progress. That's ultimately what composing is. It's just letting whatever is inside of you come out in an artistic way.